all enveloped. I swear to you, there are divine beings more beautiful than words can tell. Sitting at the kitchen table, in front of breakfast, surrounded by tomatoes and chilies and zucchini, I'm in good company. It's dark out. I light a candle, study it, and I'm burning, erupting spontaneously with my vegetables, everything awake, bowing, nodding, trembling like a Buddha, rising in a storm of lights. This epigraph is from the sacred book of the Sikhs, the Guru Granth. In thee are all contained. Thou art the giver and thou the receiver. It's for a bean and I. If the ferment in a bean also stirs me to grow, then you, dearly beloved bean, Frijo Negro Santanero from Oaxaca, you are my sister, my mother. The same spirit sings us both. Frijo, your faith is complete. I question, I doubt, as if I am not woven to your song. A fortune cast from dawn to dawn, every second lavished. Frijo soaking in water, I prepare to cook you, to taste your flesh, to build my stamina, that I may break through doubt's debris, that I may walk in fascination, that I may have the faith of a frijol. To say I am bewildered confesses my untamed urges, hormonally induced or lunar. They free range within me, wanting. And certain perversities, my wrench nature, it keeps turning and turning to find that burst of knowing, the perfect word. Our relationship, yours and mine, will occasionally perplex with inexplicable, even uncivilized episodes, gestalt leaps you cannot follow. Hang in there. Whatever proprieties I endure may conflict with the freely held nature of my body, my soul. I long for bewilderment, to uncork myself, to hear the chimes of an epithalamium, a nuptial song, wild horses galloping, buffaloes stampeding, whales whistling, hawks shrieking as heaven's belly splits and monsoons pour. Will you celebrate with me? Lick rain, dimpling leaves, adore the spider's web. Our bodies become anthems, erupting. This the apocalypse that leads me through the wreckage to dance the bewildering of all breathing things. 5 acts. Act 1. Power becomes mania. 1935. The Reichstag approves the Enabling Act, giving Hitler dictatorial powers. Does Hitler know that in 10 years he would marry and swallow cyanide within the space of 2 days? Act 2. We gulp each other in Leningrad, 1945. Isaiah Berlin and Anna Akhmatova. Anna, a poet tyrannized by executions, accusations, exclusions, and imprisonment. Isaiah, tinder for her spark. The night when loneliness toppled beneath the leafing of 2 spirits. Act 3, Paul Robeson, all 6+ feet of him with storm in his voice, punctuates his reply to the House Un-American Activities Committee with this remark: "Is that clear?" No, Robeson would not return to Africa because his ancestors built this land and he was going to be a part of it. Is that clear? Which seems to end that line of harassment. Act 4. Did I know in 1948 that we were poisoning life? It's one thing to dump Agent Orange on Vietnam. It's one thing to spray Roundup on American soil. It's one thing to cultivate this killing habit. Did I see this distemper spreading in the market, on the shelves, where I once assumed products were safe simply because they were there? Act 5 compels me to trust the light given me, to bear its fruit, though what it will taste like I do not know, only that it be fit for this fray. This epigraph is from Ricardo Means Ibarra, out of our eternally soaked minds. My natural state is inebriation. It began October 5th, 1948. My first breath, it's spirit what does it. The breath of life, a contact high. It wants to run away with me. Sobriety is an acquired taste. Forced by social proprieties, I manage my enthusiasms, sober up, get to work, behave. I kill the joy panting, rip the heart from my sleeve, refuse another pour of mead, might loosen my tongue, might say what I mean. It was when I moved to LA that I learned shallow breathing. City air too heavy for desert lungs. Too long I resisted inebriation. Now I know better than to wait for the world's permission. Now I inhale the pour. Breath drunk, I dare to believe I am God's own. Dare to belly flop in enthusiasm. What I want is belonging, fullness of belonging. I want a longing so long, so forgiving, my faith never wanes, a patient longing, measured in moments when tires flatten and I'm stranded. It's a storytelling concert. I'm last up. I begin telling my story, and I'm suddenly lost, brain stunned, words gone, stranded in the moment, the eternity of 3:07 p.m., March 5th, 2022. Energy swirling through me, but not the words, not the ones I need for the story. My brain will not budge, corked by a Buddha, unmoving, content, absorbing flavors of the last 5 stories. The room is silent, waits, not empty, but expectant, witnessing my labor pains. Where am I ask classmates in the front row. They fumble and whisper. 3 words dribble out. Dark, matter, bug. I banter, my brain reeling. Debbie's hands are lifted, palms facing me. She's praying for me. My brain begins to breathe. I continue the story, and the room listens, embracing, even celebrating my every hiccup, lifting me to the fullness of belonging. Well, this is it, the last poem. Post-traumatic stress disorder. There's an epigraph from Hafiz. It is a naive man who thinks we're not engaged in a fierce battle. Post-traumatic, as if trauma had an end, but trauma strikes and strikes, practicing the same delirium, hollowing a nest in your body, a vigilante wheeling his goods, boasting and blustering. When trauma violates your moral fiber, drafts you to serve your country, your compass resets so you can endure. When you know how you were used, your goodness assaulted, your blackness too, demeaned again and again and again. Flinching becomes second nature. How could we, every single one of us, refuse responsibility for your injury? Refuse to believe in the goodness you are, the fiercest battle of all. You know, I ask that we continue to share our strength with each other in whatever battle we are facing. And thank you for coming and listening. And now's the open mic, I think.
Yes.
Thanks, Connor and Ron.
Oh,
Thanks,
thank you, Anne. That was wonderful. Geez, that last poem makes me think of the upcoming event, the poetry event with the topic around redemption. Geez, the end of that is so powerful. That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, some of it comes from a prayer that a Lakota healer shared with, no, it's not. Well, a Lakota healer was approached by some veterans because they wanted to wipe themselves off. And this prayer I read from another community about gathering with the veterans, saying, we share responsibility for all that you have done, for all that you have seen, and for all that you have failed to do. And that, of course, is for all of us, because we're all a part of it. Yeah. So thanks, Connor. I'm glad that you heard that.
Absolutely. Well, open the forum. Make sure if you're going to come on, make sure you take yourself off mute, and when you're done, please put yourself back on mute. But I'm going to go on mute. And please, around the Zoom room, as it were, any words.
Hi, Anne. This is Wheezy. I so loved, might loosen my tongue, might say what I mean.
Yeah, right.
Really related to that. And the belonging poem was wonderful. So
yeah, well, you were there, girl.
I was lucky enough to be there when all that happened. Thanks a lot, Anne.
Thanks, Wheezy. Mm-hmm. I thought it was time for open mic.
We have to compliment you first.
Yes, we have to go around the room and say nice things.
Oh, you have to.
I feel like this is Mary Kay, I feel like I just went to church, which I haven't done for a really long time. But I mean, it was like church, really meaningful. And without letting up, just every poem after poem after poem. So thank you. It's really needed right now.
Yeah, well, I knew who you were, Mary Kay. Thanks, Mary Kay.
Yeah, I second that, what Mary Kay said. I felt that way too. That was you created a holy space for us, and I'm grateful for your words.
Well, I'm grateful to be in the company of poets who do the very same thing, create that sacred space. Thanks, Enid. Mm-hmm. Thanks.
I loved your line, Anne. I long for bewilderment. That's just wonderful. It says so much.
And I love the range of your poems and how they all created this holy space, but the range of subject matter and of yourself and history. It was really wonderful. It was just wonderful to go all over the map with you.